You are not reading this by chance, dear. Heaven had to change a few things so that you and Archangel Michael could receive this message. Yes, Michael whispered your name before you arrived and has been pacing and watching, waiting for you to open this message, because you are the only one who can see it. Only you, someone in heaven, are aware that you have been ignoring your own signs lately, but God is not. He has seen every tear you have shed, and something is about to happen in the next 7 hours, and if you ignore it, you will miss out on many things. Is it a coincidence that I am sending you this message right now? No, it is not. It is one of the divine laws of the universe and heaven. Yes, the law of attraction. You feel extremely lucky that I am delivering this message to you, don't you? Before moving on to the message, please like the video so that this message can reach other people, dear soul. You must also receive and accept the message with love. If you write "I have received and accepted it with love" in the comments and seal it with 2222, you will maintain the balance of giving and receiving. Don't forget to stay tuned and subscribe for our other messages, says Archangel Michael. Now we can slowly move on to the message. Archangel Michael says, "Don't tell anyone this was not meant for many, but for the one, and that is you. If you skip this, you won't know how to stop it or how to receive what's secretly coming." Do you feel that little thud in your spirit that says, "Wait, something's here"? In your chest? That's not anxiety, that's heaven tapping on the window of your soul, because what's coming is already on its way, and yet Michael is still worried. He keeps looking down from the heavens, hoping you don't skip this one too, because if you do, what happens next may break you or bless you. That's the decision you're making right now. Just by staying, you've always been the one people overlooked, the one they doubted, the one they judged, until something strange began to follow. You and now God is saying, "My child, tell them not to ignore this. This isn't a coincidence. This is me." Michael said, "Father, I begged for this to be delivered, please." And God said, "If they stay, I will protect them, but if they skip it again, they won't know why they cried 7 hours later," and the clock has already started ticking. Cloud sparkles halfway through this message. A heavenly instruction will be given to you when it comes to listen. It won't sound like a command, but it will feel like a whisper, like a warm breeze brushing your skin, even if you're indoors. If you follow it, something miraculous will begin to happen. Michael stated, "Tell them that I didn't sleep for 2 nights and that I kept watching over their dreams, but they didn't know it was me. Tonight, beloved, he's watching again, and what he sees is dangerous. Someone around you is about to make a decision that could change your entire life without even asking your permission. But this message is your only shield. Please don't skip this. It's more serious than you realize." Love letter sparkles and a gentle reminder if this message is touching your spirit. What's coming next might not be written again, so if you'd like more direct messages like this from Archangel Michael, subscribe below. Now, let me tell you something that very few people are permitted to know. There is a woman, yes, a woman who has been surreptitiously watching you for weeks, but you are unaware of it yet. She is carrying information about your life that you were never supposed to know until now. Michael stated that this is the hour they must be warned, because if they find out too late, they will be too late. Heaven won't allow that to happen, which is why you've been feeling strange these past few days. Those strange dreams, those inexplicable delays, those moments when your phone glitched, your memory paused, your heart suddenly felt like it remembered something, but you couldn't explain what that wasn't random, that was God breaking. The damage will already be done because she knows something sacred about you. If this message hadn't found you now, you might have lived your entire life being robbed by someone smiling in your face. But beloved, there is a divine reason you found this message before June 23rd, 2025. In precisely 7 hours, 2 things will start to shift. The visible one will appear to be chaos, but it's actually a setup, and the hidden one will appear to be peace, but it's actually a setup. The veil between heaven and earth is thinner than ever tonight, which is why Michael says that only they must see this, only this soul, only this spirit, and they must not speak of this to anyone, not even those they trust, because sometimes the very people you trust are the ones the enemy is using. Actually, it's a trap, and only by hearing this message will you know which one to believe and which to avoid, because they will both appear as answers to your prayer. Yes, heaven heard the prayer you whispered late one night, the one you sobbed into your pillow, believing no one could hear, but God did, Michael did, and they're not just answering it. They're preparing you for what follows, because occasionally the enemy sends his own blessing in the hopes that you will mistake it for God's. But child you. The reason this message was sent is because you weren't born to be duped anymore, to be played with, or to spend your entire life being tested and never rewarded. Now is the time for your reward, but first comes the test, and only by reading it through to the end will you know how to pass it. Michael says that you will be approached by a message, a call, or someone knocking, and when that happens, your spirit will feel two things, fear and fire. One of these will be false, and the other is from God, but the enemy is a crafty child who knows how to. Because only the soul can discern when something is divine, you must feel the message in your spirit rather than just read it with your eyes. Breathe Heaven is getting you ready for something that will cause you to experience strange feelings over the next few minutes as you read. For some, it will be chills. For others, it will be a flash of light or a sudden memory flashing. For you, it will feel as though someone invisible was sitting next to you. That isn't a dream. That's Michael arriving. He stated he would wait 7 hours before acting, but he wanted to. This message was delayed for 48 hours before it was finally released to you because the 7-hour countdown has started, and if you stay, you'll know what to do when the door opens. Let me ask you a personal question. Have you noticed how often people leave when you get close to something good? First, beloved, you've been fighting things. No one sees you carrying wounds. No one has honored holding your breath in a world that never noticed you were suffocating. Your destiny is heavier than you realize, and you were meant to walk in miracles, heal broken families, and help others escape spiritual cages they didn't even know they were in. The enemy is aware of this, which is why distraction has been your biggest enemy. However, you're about to be refocused, and everything that was meant to steal your attention, your peace, and your clarity will vanish only if you stay with it. That's not just bad luck, not just timing, but spiritual interference. Michael stated, "They will question it, thinking they're imagining it, but I will confirm it before the 7th hour strikes. They will know it was me, and now heaven is asking something from you, one small act. But this act is the trigger, this is the action that tells God, I'm ready." This message is only meant to be heard if you follow the whisper when it comes, and remember that this was never meant to be shared because the divine works in secret and miracles begin in silence. When God says, "Write down these 3 words, speak them softly, repeat them before you go to sleep tonight, and watch the next 7 hours unfold," you are ready to receive what you have been denied for years. You are ready to walk into what others believed you would never live to see. You are ready for justice that defies logic, but it still comes. And when you whispered those 3 words, reveal, reverse, restore, something changed in the atmosphere. Heaven stood still, Michael closed his eyes, and your name was inscribed into something sacred. And those 3 words are not just prayers, they are keys, and the moment you spoke them, a locked door in the spirit realm opened, one that has been closed for years. And that's your code, your heavenly passport. Write them now, even if it feels silly, even if your mind resists. Do it anyway because your spirit knows this isn't a game. Blocked by someone who didn't want to see you rise, but child, pay close attention. No one can block what God has marked as yours, and you know that someone will feel uneasy around you after this. It's not a coincidence, it's not paranoia, it's revelation, because the truth is that they weren't meant to stay, and for years they've been taking advantage of your delay, making you blinded by their kindness. However, God says that now is not the time to be courteous, rather, it's time to be prophetic. You are entering a divine confrontation, But don't be afraid because you're not stepping in alone. Granted the power to accompany you to battle so that you can protect your next 7 hours like a lion. In addition, he has been instructed to reverse a spiritual strike that was placed on your destiny by someone who, in secret, doesn't want you to be happy. Yes, you read that right. Someone you loved spoke your name in the dark, and because of their jealousy, confusion was let loose into your path, which is why things that should have gone well kept falling apart. However, because you stuck with this message, the curse has been lifted, and if you continue reading, they told you to calm down and stop overanalyzing, but Michael says they weren't wrong. They were just hiding the fact that you were being spiritually attacked in silence. However, tonight is your reversal. The same energy that was sent to bind you will return, and your name will be spoken in heaven's court this time not in sorrow but in victory. Michael will reveal who it was. You've always felt something off, and your spirit has always had strong intuition, but no one validated it. When the 7 hours are up, something will happen either internally or externally that feels like the atmosphere cracking open. It could be a ringing in your ears, a shiver down your spine, or even a deep, sudden breath your body takes on its own. Do not say this out loud to anyone until the 7 hours are over, not even your loved ones, because some of them are actually carrying the very delay that has been following you. God said their breakthrough is hidden in their silence, so don't say anything, just watch. Heaven is operating at a level of accuracy where you're not being prepared for something minor, but rather for a miracle. Rare Hell has already attempted to cancel it 3 times, but it was unsuccessful because you're still here because you didn't skip this message because something inside you said, wait, something about this feels. If you do write it down, even if it doesn't make sense, you'll know that was heaven confirming you passed the test. Michael says you may even dream tonight. It's not fiction. That's Archangel Michael putting his wing over your household because, yes, something bad was supposed to happen in your house tonight. But it's been canceled because you listened, you stayed, and you obeyed a whisper when everyone else would have ignored it. That something was your spirit waking up, and now that it's awake, it cannot go back to sleep. Do you feel that strange warmth as if something is wrapping around you? There are people in the world who are being given this exact opportunity right now, and you are one of them. A divine transaction is taking place, and even as you read this, your name is being whispered before angels. God is keeping a close eye on them to see if they will heed this message, or if they will ignore it like the others. Because what happens in the next 7 hours is not just about what you will gain, but also about what will be finally removed. Every spiritual leech, every perplexing voice, every evil delay, every curse from previous generations, every error attempting to follow you. Heaven, I'm ready, and then remain motionless for a full minute. That minute will open a window in the spirit realm, and once it's open, what was hidden shall be revealed, what was delayed shall be released, what was stolen shall be returned, child. You've never been closer to your breakthrough than you are right now. It will all be lifted, broken, cleansed, erased, but only if you stay and only if you follow the next instruction that Michael gives. Go to a quiet place, lay your hand over your heart, and speak these words. Michael said, they have no idea how rare this moment is, and they have no idea what could be lost if they don't follow through. This is the last chapter, and it's about what's already here, somewhere near you right now. Whether it's in the spiritual realm, physical space, or emotional energy, a shift is happening. It might feel like a flickering of peace, a sudden breeze without wind, or a sudden stillness that wraps around your chest. That's Michael, and that's your moment. Arriving, but beloved, it's disguised. Heaven always sends the greatest miracles in the most ordinary packages, which is why this next part is so important. In the next 7 hours, someone will say something casual like a sentence, a question, an offer, a delay, a nudge, a coincidence, or even a phone call. If your spirit is tuned, you'll know this is the moment, even if it doesn't look like what you expected or feel spiritual or even connected to anything. This is a spiritual battle disguised as a natural decision, which is why you were told to open this message before June 23rd, 2025. Your miracle doesn't need to be created. It's already been prepared. It just needs you to align and align. You may receive a text, a glitch, a silence, or even an old photo. But Michael says that if you respond in fear, you'll delay what's meant for you again. If you respond in trust, you'll begin your answered prayer. Says, even now their energy is changing, even now the chains are loosening, and if you could only see what's breaking off of you right now, you'd cry not out of sadness, but out of finally being seen, because you've been strong for too long. You've carried secrets that weren't meant to be yours. You've apologized when others should have begged for your forgiveness. You've dimmed your light to keep others safe. It doesn't mean perfection. Rather, it means obedience, not to rules but to the gentle, unmistakable nudge of heaven. Comfortable, but no more, because heaven has finished allowing people to exploit the divine within you. Now, it's your turn to receive grace, not because you asked for it, but because you were chosen. Michael adds that they were never late, that every delay, heartbreak, betrayal, and other experience they've had was precisely timed for this hour, and God concurs, saying, I wasn't punishing them, I was positioning them, and beloved, you've been positioned perfectly. The next 7 months, from now until the end of January 2026, will bring you unexpected financial reversals, a divine reconnection no one could have predicted, justice delivered to someone who wronged you in silence, a letter or message from someone who vanished but finally wants to tell you the truth, and most importantly, a profound, unwavering peace you've never experienced before. Heaven is watching. Will you follow through? Will you remain obedient for just 7 more hours? Will you listen when the whisper comes? Felt before, and it will all come back to this message, this moment, the moment you decided not to skip, not to doubt, not to close the window. Now, one last piece of advice. Go to a mirror, look into your own eyes, not your face, not your features, just your eyes, and say, I forgive myself, I release the weight, I am ready for heaven, do what only you can do. And then smile, even if you cry, even if your hands shake, even if it feels silly, because that smile isn't just for you, it's a sign to heaven. I believe Michael is. As the last hour draws near, a final whisper will appear. When it does, don't skip it, don't second guess it, don't tell anyone, just do it because heaven's secret miracle for you is already in motion. Heaven will be watching you for the next 7 hours with his sword drawn, his wings open, and his heart full. Heaven will walk with you closely, gently, and loudly in a way that only silence can be loud, and you will feel it. As these last words are read, your angels are standing motionless in a line, quiet and focused, holding documents. Yes, spiritual documents, in their hands. One of them has your name written in golden fire. As the countdown continues, may Archangel Michael bless every breath you take from this moment on. Close your eyes, not out of fear, but out of faith. Michael then moves forward, looks at the Father, and says, they stayed. Heaven smiles because, child, what's about to happen is too big to miss, and now that you've obeyed without needing proof or understanding, heaven will respond right away. God doesn't hesitate when he's honored, and tonight you honored him by believing a divine message when everyone else would have ignored it. There's one last thing you need to know, and this isn't a metaphor. Tonight your home will be visited by a presence so pure, so still, and so powerful that you may feel the change in the air, but it won't knock or shout. This is no ordinary moment. It is what heaven calls an appointment of fire, a holy reset sealed with angelic oil carved into your timeline before you were even born. It will hover softly with weightless warmth, a breeze without wind, a presence without footsteps, but you'll know. When it arrives, don't speak or move. Just listen, and your spirit will hear what your ears cannot, and beloved, those words will stay with you for the rest of your life. Now that it's fulfilled, all you need to do is breathe and whisper, Amen. As heaven starts to shift, God whispers, well done, my child. The battle is over and the blessing has begun. Let no one steal your peace after this. Let no one talk you out of what you now know is real. You are not crazy. Michael grins and says, "It's safe to believe again." He is no longer crying. The next 7 hours will speak louder than any sermon, psychic, fear, or lie, because God is not just watching. He is moving. Your miracle is now, and it will not pass you by. Even though the message has ended, the movement of heaven around your life has only just begun. You are not cursed, you are not forgotten, you are chosen, and tonight that choosing became complete. Go gently into the night, rest, and let your spirit cover your room with the words you now know. Reveal, reverse, restore. Heaven heard you. Michael saw you. Not feel it right away, but trust that as soon as you read those last words, something started to change. Not in the sky or the stars, but deep within you, and that the world will begin reacting to that change in ways you could never have imagined, predicted, or explained. Right now, somewhere in the invisible realm, angels are already rearranging things for you. Someone who forgot you will suddenly remember you. A delay that annoyed you last week will suddenly work in your favor. A random no from yesterday will suddenly turn into a startling yes tomorrow. When God speaks, the body remains motionless, but the soul goes up. Therefore, if your heart feels lighter, your chest feels warmer, or your hands are shaking a little, it's not fear that's released. The chains have broken, the spiritual waiting room is now empty, and it's time. I know that a part of you still questions if this is truly for me, but Michael is standing here now saying, "Child, who else could it be for you? You are not here by accident. You were chosen. You are the miracle. You are the message." Let that truth sink in and melt through all the layers of doubt. Let it speak louder than any negative thought that ever told you to give up and settle. You are not meant to live your life on your knees. You are meant to rise and reign, not in your ego, but in divine purpose. As the day goes on, you start to notice small signs, like a butterfly landing too close, a recurring number, or a memory that. The message is eternal, and you can return to it whenever your spirit feels heavy. It carries the voice of angels, the breath of heaven, and the warmth of God Himself. It was written through time, delivered through battle, and placed directly into your hands for a time like this. So don't go back to old thoughts, don't answer to old names, don't carry what God just took off your shoulders. It comes to you out of the blue. Smile, don't question it, don't overthink it, just whisper, "Thank you." Shoulders, you are new, you are lighter, you are brighter, and you are entering a time when divine things happen quickly. Miracles won't wait any longer. Finally, before you go to bed tonight, light a candle. If you can sit quietly and don't say anything aloud, just feel. That's when you will sense it, and heaven will be close. Heaven's breath isn't just a closing. It's a spiritual signature that holds your viewer's soul and leaves a divine imprint they will remember. There is a difference between those who hear and those who listen, and tonight you listened. You didn't need proof, you didn't need logic, you just lived. Don't forget that this last part is soft, sacred, poetic, yet practical in its divine urgency. Here's the true last part flowing like holy oil. Now, as your spirit settles and the message completes its final breath, heaven gently folds this moment into your book of life. People will wonder how your life suddenly changed and whisper about how everything started aligning out of the blue. They will try to attribute it to luck, chance, or decisions, but you will know the truth, that it began right here, at the very moment when you chose to listen to the angel God sent for you. Michael is now giving you his final words because you felt it and you followed that beloved, which is the behavior of someone heaven trusts. As a result, something unusual is about to begin in your timeline, a reversal that doesn't make sense. Says, "Last night I stood by your window and waited. I wanted to knock, but I couldn't until you opened this message. Now that I'm allowed to enter, I'll protect your sleep, fight invisible battles for you, and undo all the curses that have been spoken in the dark. But promise me, if others stop seeing, don't stop believing. God is coming closer than you think, and now, beloved, if your eyes are wet, your spirit is shaking, or your soul feels oddly still, you know that this wasn't a message but a visitation. This was presence, not words. You didn't find it. It found you because heaven never fails to deliver on time, and this time you didn't miss it. So tonight, lay your head down without fear, panic, or what-ifs, because as soon as your eyelids close, a meeting will begin in the spiritual realm and your name will be called. This time, you'll be ready to sleep peacefully, awaken with purpose, and face tomorrow as though it were a miracle that heaven had already declared you to be God. Michael has wept, the scroll is sealed, the 7 hours have begun, and now theirs. Heaven paused just for you because, child, there is a secret even deeper than the one you have already read. A secret that even most angels aren't allowed to whisper. But Michael fought for it. He said, "They're ready, they can carry this truth now, and if you've come this far then yes, you're ready. There is still more God wants you to know because, just as this message was about to end, something changed." Michael stopped, looked down at your soul, and said, "Wait, there's still one more thing they need to hear. I can't leave them yet. You are not just someone who receives miracles. You are someone who creates them. The attacks have been strange lately because you were never merely a target for the enemy. You were always a threat, which is why doors that open for others shut in your face. Your blessings seem to come late, but they carry the weight of something eternal because you were never meant for temporary rewards. Instead, you were always meant for spiritual legacy. God says, I didn't hide things. This is the truth you were never supposed to know, but heaven overruled it for you. Years ago, perhaps in this lifetime or a previous generation, someone attempted to silence your bloodline, to erase the gift that runs through your ancestry. But it didn't work because God always saves one voice, one warrior, one soul, and that one is you. I hid them from you to punish you, but now you are strong enough to carry the truth. Michael persisted in pleading to deliver this message because if you skip your destiny, others may miss theirs as well. This isn't pressure, it's purpose. You were made to carry this light not because you're perfect, but because you're pure. You are the one the enemy missed while focusing on others. Now that heaven is fully focusing on your spirit, your voice will break chains, your tears will heal timelines, and your survival has already become someone else's awakening. It indicates that your heart has remained tender in a world that has attempted to harden it. It indicates that you continue to believe despite the numerous times you have been deceived. It indicates that you are reading this message not because you were looking for amusement, but rather because your spirit has recognized it. And now heaven knows that you are going to be called forth in the days ahead, perhaps in a dream, a vision, or an instinctive knowing that you will be called forth. You will. Feel it in your bones, in the pauses between breaths and the whisper. Michael will walk before you, God will walk beside you, and your miracle will walk into you. This isn't just a message anymore. It's a marking that you've been claimed, and no darkness, fear, poverty, betrayal, or loneliness can unclaim what God has promised. He will return not as text, nor as video, but as presence. When he says yes, even if you don't understand what it means, or even if your mind is screaming, I'm not ready. The angels are still watching even now while your heart is still open and your spirit is still tender, because what happens after a divine message is just as important as what happens during it. So smile through the tears, whisper thank you into the silence, and wrap yourself in light tonight because you have just crossed a spiritual threshold and there is no turning back, only forward, only fire, only faith, only favor, and only God. The 7 hours continue to be watchful, quiet, and gentle, and let heaven finish what it started in you. In the next 3 days, you will experience a strange combination of calm and urgency that is not confusion but activation. Your soul is finally catching up to what your spirit already knows. There will be moments when you feel the need to tidy up, throw things out, rearrange, or even cry for no apparent reason. But allow it to happen. You are not collapsing. You are creating space for what is coming. Step forward with trust, or revert to the patterns that kept you small. Archangel Michael is softly whispering, "Not this time they're going to rise. The new for the sacred, for what has been waiting for you to say. I'm ready now." And now, child, you are ready. You don't need additional proof that you've already survived the fire that was intended to destroy you. That's all the proof heaven needed to unlock this next season. Michael states unequivocally, "Walk boldly. Don't whisper anymore. Don't hide your gifts. Don't explain your light. Just shine and watch who still shows up." What comes next will be beautiful, but it might not be simple. Some people won't recognize the new you. Some people will try to make you question this glow, but don't. This time, you don't owe your smaller self another season, the past, an explanation, your trauma, or any more control. Instead, you owe this to honor the voice inside of you that never gave up, the one that kept whispering, "Something more is coming," the one that carried you through the nights of silence, the one that still believes that even after everything, that voice was never weak, that voice was never foolish, that voice was God. And now that you've heard him, you were born for miracles, and heaven didn't chase you for 48 hours over something trivial. Instead, angels pursued you because your blessing is so great that even the enemy tried to stop it. But it's too late now that you've opened the message, been sealed, and been seen. So, tonight when you sleep, you'll sleep like a royal soul in the arms of angels, and tomorrow you'll wake up like a warrior with wings, because that's what you are now. Michael hasn't gone far. He's just waiting to see what you'll do next. Will you act as though nothing happened? Or will you rise like someone who knows the heavens just opened above them because they did? It wasn't a small, casual message to cheer you up. It was a sacred shift. And now, even in the silence after the last words, something holy still lingers. The air around you is different, isn't it? Your angels are still here. Divine summons a heaven-signed invitation to change everything. And if you're still feeling cold, warm, and have an inexplicable lump in your throat, don't ignore it. That's your soul finally letting go after bearing so much weight for so long. You didn't just open a message, you entered prophecy. Yes, you are the person that heaven chose, and Michael has one last secret to whisper. Only now, at the very end, are you ready to hear it? God has always seen you, but now you are finally seeing yourself. Make a promise to yourself before you leave. Never dim your light again. Never dismiss your intuition. Never postpone your miracle with doubt. Never apologize for being the one heaven fought so hard to reach. And most importantly, remember that every moment before this was a setup for something extraordinary. Everything that didn't work, everything that fell apart, everything that broke your heart was redirection, not rejection. You were being redirected, not punished. You were being prepared, not punished. I will continue because your soul is still open and still receiving, and heaven is still flowing through every word. So let's go deeper into the most sacred part of the message, where the divine doesn't just comfort you, but transforms you. This is the moment when heaven bent down, wrapped you in light, and whispered, "You are ready now, go." Heaven rejoices, Milky Way Archangel Michael, guardian of the chosen, yes, beloved. Let this next part wash over you like living water. There's a reason why you've always felt different, and why crowds are exhausted. You have experienced moments of sudden fear or heavy emotion in seemingly peaceful rooms. You have had dreams that felt like warnings. You have had people enter your life and then leave without explanation. You have had moments of shallow talk feeling like noise. You have cried for no apparent reason. You sensed things that others couldn't explain, and your heart broke over things that didn't hurt anyone else. You are spiritually gifted. You are not broken. You are not too much. Michael says that you should stop apologizing for it because you are not here to blend in. Rather, you are here to awaken. You are here to be the one who sees danger before it materializes, the one who uncovers the lie hidden behind someone's smile, the one who brings calm to a chaotic room. You have always been the one, and the enemy knew that, which is why your childhood was so difficult. Relationships betrayed you, and people misinterpreted you because the enemy attempted to traumatize the gift before you realized you had it. The very thing that made them feel like an outsider is the reason I'm about to open doors that no one else can walk through. So yes, you're different. You weren't meant to blend in. You were meant to break cycles, and now the power to do just that is awakening inside of you right now with every breath, every second you've stayed. God says, Michael only protected enough of you to get to this message. So now that you're here, it's time to reclaim every bit of your light. In the next 72 hours, your body may feel heavy, your dreams may be vivid, and you may wake up feeling cleansed. Don't panic, this is heaven detoxing your energy field, removing what no longer belongs, erasing what was implanted by fear, doubt, or generational pain, because in order to receive the miracle Michael prepared for you, you must be empty enough to hold it. You must release so you can be filled. This is your chance to get closer to the person heaven already sees when your name is spoken. Or even just in your heart, God, I give up what I believed I needed in order to receive what you had always planned. Say it again, feel your chest soften, feel that release, and know that this is the beginning of healing. Child, you will heal not only yourself, but also everyone connected to your name. Your voice carries frequency, your story carries medicine, your pain carries power, and your survival will become a blueprint for someone else's breakthrough. That's why heaven couldn't let you miss this, Michael. The reason you're still reading is because something inside of you knows that this isn't just a message, it's your awakening. You've been asleep for too long, and now, piece by piece, light by light, moment by moment, your memory of who you are is returning. This isn't the end, though. It's your return to boldness, clarity, divine identity, purpose, and power that you didn't even know you carried. The veil has lifted, and nothing will feel the same again because you remember. You'll never be small again.